Hello? Hello? Oh, hi. Hi there. Hi. Wow, someone was here first. That's amazing. Well, let's just get right on to the program then, huh? What do you say? Um, I'm actually only like half ready. Also, that looks like there's a problem. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Look at my homunculus while I fix this, okay? Um, I need to turn this off for a sec. Oh, squat's coming up early. All right. You can be in charge of that. You can be the buddy bot today. That's fine. Hold on, a program's reloading. So, and I can't just have the camera on. It'll frighten you. You'll never believe what happened. You'll never believe what happened to me this morning. Oh gosh, it was bad. It was bad. Okay, that didn't fix my problem. Hold on. Technical difficulties with my microphone. Is it this one? No, lips. That's the one? Yeah. Okay, I got it fixed. Okay. Hi there. Hold on. We're here. Everything is good and amazing. Thank you for being here so early, Kane. That's I guess you're a oh wait, no, it's not that you're a morning person. It's morning for me, and it's probably like what, early afternoon? No, late afternoon, early evening for you. We're in different time zones, you and I, but we're here together. And I'm so happy for you. I tried to have all of the air ducts in my house cleaned yesterday, and everything backfired. That's just what happened. Oh, I had a story to tell you. A story to tell. Because, I listened to everyone's advice. Or it wasn't really advice, it was more like criticisms. I listened to everybody's criticisms last time. And I just took that model, I shelved it away, and it doesn't have to be a cosmic horror moving forward. So I went to, but I had already changed the default. Oh, hold on, let me put the homunculus away. That's the homunculus. Anyways, so I'd already set the default on this program to just go ahead and load that piece of abject horror, and it deleted all of the files for this raccoon, and I panicked. I was lucky that that I had actually loaded this up onto my Ko-Fi page already, because I had to just go there and download it. And look, I bet all of the things still work. All of the emotions. So like, I don't use them often, but like, I have a happy face still. It's still here. I have an angry face. It's still here. I can put both happy and angry on at the same time to be like confused about what's up. And then there's also this. These all still work, and this model is available totally for free on my Ko-Fi page, which is where I downloaded it from after my computer just went ahead and deleted it. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Let's pick a mission. And in my mind, the perfect mission right now is going to be a satellite, like a relay network, like a relay satellite that is in polar orbit around Kerbin, because I want it to be real big, going polar, and I want it to be past Minmus, but I'm not sure that's a realistic possibility. I would actually probably be far better to keep this satellite between the Mun and Minmus. That's probably my perfect mission, but I haven't actually been looking at this list of options, so let's take a look. What fits into my desired option? A satellite in equatorial orbit around Minmus? That's quite a lot of funds. About that from Minmus. Okay, and my reason for thinking that this might be an okay mission to kick this off is because if it's in an equatorial orbit around Minmus, then we can leave Minmus orbit and go somewhere from there after we complete the mission. So that's a way to get someone else to pay for it. And we have 700,000 funds right now. What do you want me to do at Minmus? Dock 2 vessels at Minmus? I could probably just take Kane's arm to something in Minmus. Like, I could do this mission here, probably, without even sending a new ship. A new surface outpost on Eve. That sounds ridiculous. Docking ports, generates power, and has an antenna. I don't think I'm about to land on Eve. We've never been to Eve yet. So how are you doing, Kane? What's new? What's exciting? A satellite in specific orbit on Minmus. I don't really love a lot of these missions that we have right now. A satellite in tundra orbit around Gilly. A tundra orbit around Gilly. We've never been to Gilly before. We have no idea how we're gonna get to Gilly. Maybe we should consider that. What is it I'm trying to look for? This is no, I think I want to look through the tracking station at the whole universe, the whole galaxy, the whole system. So we have not yet intentionally left Kerbin. We've got this one thing going there, but it doesn't count. I think that once we put up, like, realistically, we do have pretty good communications abilities across Kerbin right now. I have a lot of debris. Too much debris. No probe intentionally sent out of the solar system. No, and I think we just want to put that. I just want to put one satellite with as much antenna as I can have on a nice big polar orbit around Kerbin. Probably way out here, like I mentioned earlier. And I think I'm just gonna have to fund that project myself because I didn't see any missions that I loved for it. And we've got some research that we should spend. Oh, we can start using those nuclear engines. We should do that and see what we can make happen. Maybe we'll just make the biggest probe that we can. Let's see. 270. So I can have... Ooh, that's a bigger relay antenna. That's right up our alley. What's this? Satellites, weather stations, decouplers. Well, I want the bigger relay antenna. Let's be clear about that. And then I have another 110. I don't need any of this stuff right now. What's this? RCS? No. I'll probably just hang on to the extra science for now. And I guess we need to design a new rocket that will be fundamentally a what am I trying to say? The words are communications satellite. That's what we start with. So my biggest service bay would be that. Ooh, and I can have a payload on top of it. Yes! Okay. Because in here, in this one, is where we put our probe core. So we make it a probe, right? That's a probe. And we put this fly-by-wire underneath so that it's got all kinds of good-ass controls. And then some batteries. Circular ones to go right in there so that we're using all the space properly. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna turn on the buddy bot so that the buddy bot is at least turned on. Okay, now we've got the inner parts of that. I also need an emergency communicator before we start putting the relays up. That is just to make sure I don't accidentally lose control of the probe by doing something silly like not opening my antennas. So that's there. What else do we want to put in there? Let's put a thermometer in there. That looks upside down. A thermometer, and we'll put a couple of these goo things. That way, if it ends up going somewhere wild, then we can still personally collect a lot of extra science from this. I'll move the thermometer instead. Oh, there we go. Gonna move this. Oh. All right, that's in there. And we only need one thermometer. We'll take a barometer too as a just in case, but I don't anticipate this going anywhere that a barometer will be relevant. Oh, hi Kane, welcome back. What else are we gonna put in this giant service bay? Stampatron ground anchor. Interesting. We'll worry about those later. We don't need anything else in here. There's got to be stuff we can put in here. What? Well, you're allowed to feel that way. It might only look that way to you, Kane, on YouTube. It's also not the primary platform. I know Longfellow's on Twitch right now. So people are on Twitch. You're just the one on YouTube. And that's cool. There's nothing else I want to put in this. Nothing in this cargo bay. I do want a massive control over that. Well, let's fill it with batteries then, as a just in case. That's going to be good enough. And we're going to move on and say that's what controls the probe. Den. I have this thing. Ooh, that's a lot tinier than I thought it was going to be. Oh, here's a bigger one. Great. Oops. We're going to put a few of these up for structure, right? And then we'll take that big new satellite relay. What's the strength on this? 2G. I'd have to do some math. Instead, I'm just gonna put a bunch on. I'm gonna do that. And that's gonna be a powerful communication device. And now we need some solar panels. How big is this? Ooh, I like the size of that. Let's move this down a little. Let's put that in there. And then we got to move this up a little. And then, oops. And then I liked the idea of capping it like that. Not because I know what I want to put on there right now, but because of things that I can use this design for in the future. So I'll just throw this one extra on top. And I'm going to close this fairing now. Let's do that. And here we go. Great. Now the communication stuff is locked in there. Solar panels from any direction. Since there's going to be more rocket on the bottom, I'm going to add more solar panels in a moment. But this unit is only going to start with having a little bit of rocket fuel. So I need to know which one fits best. The orange one. And if we took that poodle, because I definitely underestimated this poodle, I'll admit that. I need to measure in a vacuum. 3,900. Okay. Okay, one poodle pushes that into basically any orbit that we want. Okay, so that'll be that. And I'm gonna open that fairing a lot sooner. But I needed those bigger solar panels. Are they gonna be bigger? Or are they just gonna extend for fun? Yeah, I'll just drop these right there. They'll be like that to catch some extra sun, just in case if this rocket was accidentally stuck looking directly at the sun, then it could still get some. And I definitely want to put that onto an action group right now. Just toggle those solar panels. Great. And then we're gonna call this ComSat1 just because it needs a name. So then this rocket will just be the satellite itself. And we need to now lift this. How big is it? How heavy is it? 20, let's call it 25 tons for the sake of discussion. It's a 25-ton rocket. We're gonna decouple that. And I'm actually gonna want that fairing to go whenever I decouple that. I want to make sure this whole part opens up together. And now we need another big rocket, but a much bigger rocket this time. The engines. Great, that will also lift. Now it's gonna need a boost. It's gonna need some wings too. That's a missile. And we'll just put this thinger right here on the side. And a thoroughbred right there. We're gonna send those together. All right, so these thoroughbreds will kick it up into the air a little bit. It's probably gonna put us nowhere near orbit, but it'll get us fairly high. It'll get us up. And then the mainsail will give us the rest of what we need to get to orbit. So I believe these two stages combined will act as the lift to put this satellite into orbit around Kerbin. And then the fuel it has up here in the Poodle will be absolutely plenty to put it into the polar orbit that I want. Now, that being said, the normal gravity turn isn't necessarily going to be helpful to us because I'm wanting a polar orbit. So we're just gonna aim for that polar orbit right off the hop, and that's probably going to result in me needing more fuel. So it's absolutely possible that I don't get true orbit around Kerbin first until after I've started using this Poodle. But I think that'll be fine. I think it'll be enough. And if the scientific community wants to weigh in while I put struts on and these nose cones, then I'm absolutely open to a discussion about it. But without input from the scientific community, actually, I said I wanted to try and use these nuclear engines, didn't I? And then I just went and didn't. They only use liquid, huh? I'm gonna stick with this rocket for now, and the next mission will be out of Kerbin, and we will make use of those other rockets then. But I think we can put this one up without a problem, and then when those missions come up that are like, hey, put something into orbit around Minmus or around Kerbin or whatever, this satellite will just do the job. Hi, Terrence. Thanks for joining us. You're just in time for liftoff. And so you are aware of the mission specs on this one. We are taking this satellite. It's a communication satellite, our biggest communication satellite yet. And it is going to find itself on a polar orbit around Kerbin to prepare us for our first journey outside of Kerbin. So, we are going to be launching in 3, 2... Oh, actually, hold on. Cut the throttle, champs. I like daytime launches. So we're going to wait until sunrise. And here it is. So now we've been cleared for launch. In 3, 2, 1, blast off! Look, we're going. That's us. We are the pilots. We're going to go up for a little while, and then I'm going to turn north, which is going to be down on my nav ball. If I end up going south instead, it's the same deal. I really don't care. We're going, though. And nobody said boo to my rocket design. So that's great. Meow. I feel our first stage can already be claimed as a roaring success. All right. Let's see if I can start this turn now. We're pretty high up. Should have an easy time doing this. It's just weird to be turning north like this. It feels awkward just looking at the nav ball. Not only looking at the nav ball, but also the buttons I'm using to control it. Like, I should have turned my rocket. Like, I should have rotated so that my buttons felt normal instead of this awkward angle. But this is fine. This is gonna be fine. Look, we've already cleared the atmosphere. Much success. Go team. And I guess I can open my solar panels now. Look, I remembered to set up that action group, even though they're just tiny little things. All right, let's look at the circles. Look at that circle growing. Oh, what's this? That, ugh, debris. Debris. We're gonna make it. Nobody should be worried. Actually, I'm gonna put away my solar panels just to make sure they don't get broken in this next moment here. Because I'm just gonna deploy that fairing so that there's even more debris. Space junk, my friends. Keeping it live. At least this is a pretty view, right? Right? Like, this is nice. This is nice. I'm very satisfied with this launch. I'm gonna have much debris. I think I'm gonna have to use Kane's arm to go through and eliminate some space debris later. Because I have much of it. And I'm adding. I want it out past the mun. Want it real far away. Alright. That should at least be far enough to dodge the mun. So this is progress. Now, we will get out there and get it more circular. Warp there. Go prograde. And that way we can leave the debris in a terrible spot. Did I accidentally set that as a target or something? Why is it still labeled like that? Whatever. We're going prograde. We're turning. We're turning. And this will make sure that we've got a much better view of everything. Keeping our communications open. Because if we can send drones first, then we protect Kerbin lives. And that's something we like doing. All right. Now that's a nice big circle that's not going to get messed with any of the planets or any of the moons. So if I was on the far side of Minmus, I'd have a much better chance of seeing that satellite. Hopefully. I hope that was a good idea. Should put it further? I could put it further out. Let's put it further out. And it's worth noting that this ship could definitely leave Kerbin. That looks like it could also hit Minmus. So we're gonna go out there. And we're gonna make the circle even bigger. It's gonna be huge. Huge! And we still have the entire other stage to work with. So do we just want to send it? And this was with a polar orbit. No, we're gonna keep it. We'll send another one if we have to. Oh, even the time warp feels like it takes forever out at this distance. Almost positioned. Alright, so I want to get it to... I want the other side to be at like 60 as well. Oh, we ran out of fuel in that stage. And that will be the debris that continues to litter. Great. Great. Now that will be our main comms satellite. And I am not going to worry about the debris at this moment. We will deal with it later. That's a lot of extra fuel. Oh, and you can't even necessarily see it. Look at that. 3,000. 3,000. Oh, hey, the buddy bot's working today. Great. Great, I'll do some squats to celebrate this mission succeeding. This is celebration. There, I did it. I did it. Be proud. Or a potato. Whatever makes you happy. You be you. Okay. Back to the Space Center. Because that, dear friend, was placed where I needed it to be. And now, we're gonna make some revisions. We're making a ComSat 2. We need liquid only. Well, I guess we could still use that tank, right? Could use a tank like that with no oxidizer in it. And then I need this engine here. I need to know in a vacuum has 6,000 delta V, but I would want 4 of those. How can I put 4 of them in? Do I have any of those things? A tri-coupler. A tri-coupler's a good start, but it feels the wrong size. That, and then that's my tri-coupler. And here's that. Which feels like it did not add at all. So this will just be a longer time. Maybe that whole thing is just too heavy. 1 tank size down. Still no oxidizer though. What does this do? Not wonderful. I don't like it. I don't like it because its thrust is so low. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? What other fuel tanks are there here? Is it even worth the engineering challenge of making that switch when we could just launch this thing interplanetary? I think we just gotta send this. I think we ought to take that a mission to Gilly. I think it was available. We need a mission out of an orbital station around Eve. Ooh. Needs to have a lot of liquid fuel. I feel like last time I was looking at these, there was a nice mission to put a satellite around Gilly that is no longer here. And the new missions are worse. Send it to Jewel. Alright. Alright, we'll just whip it out to Jewel and see what happens. We have the funds to do it. We can afford this rocket. 1 Jewel. Launch it. And this time we don't need to go with a polar orbit, so that'll be good. We can use gravity assists. We are, as always, going to launch in the morning. We are cleared for launch in 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Whee! Yeah, we're going. Yeah. Yeah, get in, losers. We're going to Jewel. Hopefully we have a strong enough antenna to make it. Launch is going terrifically. Stage 1 was a roaring success. Now we're going to start that turn. It's probably a little late. We could have done it sooner. But we're here now. And that's kind of what counts, right? Where is this going? Kane, you're asking questions and you haven't been paying attention. That's cool. I appreciate you being here. We're going to Jewel. So get in. We're going to Jewel. We're aiming for Jewel, I should say. If we don't make it, then we're going wherever we get. But Terrence asked for Jewel. Terrence asked for Jewel. So I'm aiming for Jewel. Let's smash open that fairing. And open up our solar panels. I bet our solar panels are too weak for this, but we're gonna go anyways. Oh, Kane, you don't have to do that, but we appreciate you sharing your art. We'll give you positive encouragement for this poem. I'm excited, you've got my attention. Which means there's probably a jump scare about to happen in my game. How's that circle coming? Oh, it's coming all right. If we are willing to stop at the Mun, I bet Kane's arm could give us some extra fuel. You think my craft is a surface base? It supports no Kerbins. It's a relay satellite. Do you think I'm gonna crash into Jewel? Because I'd call that a win. I'd measure the temperature on the way down. How's that orbit looking? Oh, poorly timed is the answer. Oh, it could have happened. It was gonna, and we, Okay, hold up. We're gonna have to put ourselves, okay, we are in currently a nice and stable orbit, as wacky and wonky as it is. Let's see, if I burn a little more prograde in 2 minutes, and I fling ourselves out, is this on track to Jewel? No. No, we'd be lucky to hit Eve at that. There it is. Okay. So what I need, I appreciate your efforts there, Kane. It's nice. It's nice all the same. But that maneuver node is not working out for me. What if I was here? And I went like, wabam-a-lam. Like that. That's still gonna whip me out in the wrong direction, isn't it? Because I need to get whipped out. Hold on, I gotta get this right. Oh, hey, Rabbit. Welcome back. Welcome to the party. Let's see. If I was there, can I... No. No, I need to go like that, right? That's gonna be the direction. How much do I need to get to Jewel? From this angle, a lot. Let's say... No, let's say I was like... here. And I wanted to do that. How far will that launch me? That's more of what we want to see, I guess. Set that as my target. Oh, look how close that'll be. I can make that happen. Hold on. If I go a little faster. Yeah, look, there's our encounter with Jewel. And we'll have a little bit of extra to fine-tune with. We'll fine-tune somewhere over here. We're going to Jewel! The burn time is 2 minutes. Yes, we're going to Jewel. Thank you. We're gonna need to be first off over there somewhere. I'm on the wrong side of orbit for what I want. But my computer is struggling like I left Blender open on another screen. So let me close that. Oh boy, it's chugging along. What's the payload? The payload is a communications satellite. It has several bits of goo and a thermostat, so we can do like a little bit of science. But more so than the science, it is a test of, will our communications network work at Jewel? Like, if we can make this one satellite work from the orbit of Jewel anywhere, then we can send other satellites to follow. But we need to find out, like, can we even communicate with Jewel at this moment? Because the big question is, can we colonize a Jewel? It's 21 minutes away. Let's warp to there instead. It's a shame all of our maneuvers happen on the dark side of the planets, right? It's gonna be nice to say goodbye. But if we lose communications with this, we're gonna struggle. We might want to consider sending some follow-up ships just to, like, piggyback the signal back home in case, you know? Alright, we're gonna wait until we're a little closer to this maneuver node. because we've planned it so meticulously so far. Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, you can get a good view of the communications payload in the dark here. It's got some solar panels, some communications. You probably need polar orbit constellation out there and Duna sat relay to forward the signals. So you're saying I really need to go to Duna first. And that's only going to work if that Duna is lined up with Jool. So there's a possibility that you're right and this is just not going to work. But Terrence said go to Jool, so we're going to Jool. And Rabbit, if you want me to send those follow-up satellites, we can. Did I not press that already? Yeah, I did. Alright, we're off to Jool. As fast as we can go, I promise. This is our little communication satellite. You'll get a better view of it when we get into the light. This burn time feels like it's gonna take forever. Will Kerbin be on the far side by the time I get to Jool? Should just drop a whole bunch of these comm satellites into orbit behind Kerbin. Solar constellations, here we come. Well, honestly, if we can't stop around Jool, then we're going to start on that constellation, that's for sure. Good enough, good enough. Let's see, depends on the launch window. Big, huge distance, so you can do 3 sats in solar orbit around Duna. It's a reasonable plan. Let's see, do we have our encounter with Jool? No, it is not. Perfect. Are they getting closer? No, they're getting further away. Let's retrograde it then. Because I'm going to be too far. So I just have to slow it down. I went way too far. Now, how close are we coming? All right, and then from here, what would a maneuver here? 3 years. It's gonna take 3 years to get here. I'll have 2,000. Look, we can put that. As long as we can control this probe core when it gets here, then we will be able to leave it in orbit there. Oh, hey, buddy bot. So here's the big question is, are we going to be able to control this probe in 3 years' time? And what should we do in the meantime? Should I just time warp that out there so that we don't forget? Or should we do something else with the 3 years? Should we be launching extra satellites? I don't know. But BuddyBot says I have to do some squats. Turn off... Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Okay. We'll start there. Yeah. We'll do that before the squats. There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's true. Turning off SAS was a great idea. But I'm still left with a serious question. Does time mean anything? Hmm. I have no missions at the moment. But we could... we could just send a satellite out to Duna right now anyways. Tough call. I think that, no Duna window now, you say. I think I'm just gonna time warp out to, our Jewel encounter. I think I'd rather just get to that. Time isn't real to me, I guess. So we're just gonna go. Wait. Well, okay. What are you after? What are you after? Focus on... I literally just said I was gonna go... Why are you telling me to stop, Kane? I'm going straight to Jewel. We're going to Jewel. We're not doing anything else extra. Tell me what you need. I don't want to stress you out. Just open the door. If you do a Tylo assist, you can get a free Joule orbit for no... Okay, so you're telling me not to do this maneuver node. Honestly, this maneuver node was totally irrelevant. It was just to know that I could. Look, I got rid of it. I got rid of it. We're just going straight. We're going straight out. We've got a Joule encounter lined up. When we are somewhere at Joule. We are going to do that probably out at the apoapsis. I didn't think I was going to engineer that now. Do I need to do this now? You want me to do this now? Hold on. Why won't you let me focus on Joule? Okay, there's that. Now let me go focus on Joule. Joule is the target. In between periapsis. So you're saying anywhere in between. Which one's Tylo? Which one's Tylo? Set that as my target. Now, let's turn this on real quick. If I said retrograde, we'll just see if we can force this encounter to happen. Actually, if I was there and I wanted to do it like that, will it work? No. No, you're saying to do it somewhere else, though. Use Kerbin so it's easy to get full orbit. But you want me to do it... You want me to do it like... there. You want me to do it... Yeah, doing it somewhere way out there is going to be better than what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Yeah, we'll fine-tune it somewhere out there. Okay. Okay. We're going to skip all this for a second. We're going to skip all this, and I'm just going to, like, warp to here. Just warp there for now. Where are we? Because we got to get past this. Alright. So that's going to be somewhere like around here. Well, we're going to Joule today, Terrence. Right. Let's just try and plan this maneuver node better. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up. You should consider going over Lathe if... You want me to go down like that, is what I'm hearing. Is everybody wants me to cut it in close like this. Lathe is the coolest. Okay. You want me to cut in like that, sort of. That's gonna crash me into Joule. What? Hold on. What are you guys saying? What do you... Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We do not need a nighttime flyby of Jewel like that, but that might actually be worth... That might be a lot of fun to just whip in like that. Whoa, 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 too far, too far, too far. That's a Tylo encounter. For 14 meters per second. We're almost there. Look, that's crashing into Tylo. We'll take that encounter there. Am I able to plant? No, we're just going to take that encounter for what it is, and we'll use the gravity there to help us out, and we'll figure out what's going to happen. Turn off SAS. 129 days, you say? Wait, zoom out further. I don't know why. If you're hoping to guess, or if you're hoping for information about what my new orbit is going to be, I don't think my tracking station can tell me that far in advance. Yeah? Yeah, we good? Okay. Okay, we're gonna hit Jewel. We're gonna hit Tylo. And assuming that we have communication still, we will figure out what we're gonna do from there. That's what I need. I need to go like there. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'm saying it. I'm with it. What do with XP? Oh, the experience for your Kerbins is super important. Because depending on their job, it makes them more advanced. So like, I'll show you the maneuvers in a second, and we'll talk about a pilot. Now, this ship currently, oh, we are definitely going to lose communications. We are going to, hold up. I'm going to do this maneuver and tell you about the XP, and then we have to go and launch another ship right away, because I can see the red line, the communication strength. We are not going to be able to communicate this with this at Jewel. Anyway, so let me turn on SAS for a second and show you my ship. So my communication ship is nothing amazing. Let's just quickly actually log. Let's do a quick bit of science while we can. So that sucks. I was expecting better than that. And I need my thermometer. Barometer, thermometer, log that. Is that relevant? No? Okay. So I was telling you about a pilot. Let's say you've got a pilot with 0 experience. When you turn on the SAS, they're not going to have all of these controls right here. Now, I have a probe core and a computer that helps me control my ship. So my computer is taking care of these, and I don't need a pilot. But like, I just told it to face the maneuver node, and it just automatically turned. You need to have either a computer that does that for you or a pilot in order to be able to do that. Now, a level 1 pilot can hold stability assist, so it'll make sure your ship isn't wobbling, but that's about it. a level, you might even be able to do like prograde and retrograde. But without getting into the specifics of all of these others, which I will periodically use, an upgraded pilot would do those for you. And if I had a pilot with me right now, then the fact that I couldn't communicate with the ship at Jewel wouldn't be a problem, because the pilot could do the job. So if I had like a level 1 pilot though, he could only hold stability assist and maybe prograde retrograde. So leveling up your pilot gives you a bunch of this extra stuff. Now we need to send another ship immediately. And we are just going to hope that it is going to be capable of relaying the signal up to where we need it to go. It's our only hope. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. So here is that other satellite. And I don't have any upgrades for it. We're just hoping to goodness that it goes where it's supposed to go. So let's launch the second version of it. I know there was lots of debate about whether or not we should. Blast off! I'm gonna try a much more aggressive gravity turn this time too, which could definitely be dangerous. Look, I'm turning already. How dangerous. It would actually probably be in our best interest to go and get more science so that we could improve our communications, but this is the option I have available in the right meow. Go, little rocket, go! You're doing a great job. Alright, we have cleared the atmosphere. So this fairing is no longer important to me. And we can open up those solar panels. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Terrence, I don't even know what you said there. I don't... What is train makers? Do I want to know? I think there's a train coming by now. I might have read that wrong the first time. Yo, my orbit is not nearly as circular as I want it to be. I can only hope I'm about to launch myself out in the correct direction. So now I am in an orbit. And I can only hope that I'm going to launch myself out in the right direction. If I do go right here, am I going to launch myself out towards Joule? No. Let's say I need that as my target, though. Hold on. What if... Ugh. No! No, turn that off. If I put that there, can that just go away? Does that launch me? No. That is still sending me towards, what's that, Eve? Eve is not what I want. So that's not the direction I want to get launched out of. Hold on. What if I just went here? And I did that. And I was like, launch me out this way. Which way will that launch me? Do you also get to line up an encounter with Joule? You do. Alright, that's good. We'll just line that up. It'll be great. Second ship launched out to Joule. Okay. I think that maneuver node was basically just straight forward. Straight prograde. So we'll get the bulk of it lined up. We'll have to switch stages to the next one. And then we'll fine tune it, and hopefully, these two satellites together can piggyback communications. Otherwise, I'm going to have no choice but to send a pilot. And who here wants to risk a Kerbin's life on a one-way trip to Jewel? With no guarantee return. Whoops, I didn't mean to throttle up yet, but I did. We're going. We're going to Jewel. Get in! We're going to Jewel! Still. Look at us. We're going to Jewel. All right. Ditch this lower stage and get going. We're gonna make it. That sounds like your probability is dropping and I'm concerned. I feel like these two satellites are gonna reach Jewel at bad times. I feel like these satellites are going opposite directions. Buddy, this is a bad time. I understand my mistake. I should have just sent this ship. Launch one in solar orbit between Duna and Dres. That's fair. Yeah, we can make a third one go up for this. We'll just get it between Duna and Dres and circularize it there, you mean? And hope. Alright. Alright, we'll worry about that later. And we all agree that we need to launch one more of these. It's taken me 3 satellites to get one to Jewel. I'm going to Jewel, I promise. Yeah. Yeah, Longfellow, they are. It's fine. It's fine, because we're going to Jewel! Ugh, we had 700,000, and now we're gonna have so little left over. We're gonna have no choice but to do a whole bunch of rescue missions next time to pay for what I've done here. Gosh, why is it always nighttime? It's just always nighttime when we go. And you gotta stop hitting your cans all the time and attracting. I haven't been doing nothing like that. I'm just here launching rockets. Satellite networks, man. Let's do it. All right, let's take that super, super aggressive turn. Highly aggressive turn. I am losing control of my rocket. I have totally lost control of my rocket. We're gonna act like this didn't happen. And we are going to take that turn far less aggressively this time. Sorry. Ha 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 ha. Fine, we'll do it at night. Just straight up. Okay, just get going. Interesting. Interesting assessment, Longfellow. The Trashcan 2000 tells us that Kerbin spins, huh? Interesting. Interesting. You're saying Kerbin spins. Huh. Kind of like my rocket spins when I take a gravity turn too aggressively. Ooh. I will look for opportunities for our science team to start mapping asteroids. That's a great idea, Rabbit. And this rocket is actually designed in such a way that the intention is to mount a telescope to the very top of it so that we could be mapping asteroids. We just don't have that specific technology yet. So I'm not currently able to do such a thing. But I am expecting to in the future. All right, now we'll take that gravity turn. And the goal is to put it further than Duna, not as far as Drez. Which shouldn't be too hard, because I'm told Drez isn't real. So there's no way I'm going to go further than imagination, right? Alright, we're not going to spin. We're past the atmosphere, so deploy that. And pop out the satellite, the solar panels. Solar panels is what I'm looking for. Ah, Charlie horse, Charlie horse, Charlie horse. Okay. Jewel's not real. I have 2 satellites on the way to Jewel, Rabbit. Rabbit, we are going to Jewel. We got something against Eve now? Interesting. I understand. I understand. A preference for Lathe it is. Terrence, I do not understand. And I am sorry for that, but I do not know how to help you. If I keep going, right, and I launch myself out, which direction does that launch me? Does that launch me correctly or incorrectly? That puts me out towards Duna. That puts me out towards Drez. And that's somewhere in between. So that's the kind of orbit we were talking about earlier. So we're going to aim for that. We're going to just aim for that. That was just prograde right now. So we are accepting... Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to go prograde right now. And it's going to be a good time. No need to circularize. We're just gonna go. We're just going to, as the kids would say, punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Just punch it. Here we go. We're going, we're going, we're going. Alright, somewhere around there. That's the orbit we all wanted. Well, we need to put it into a proper orbit. 300 days, you say. Let's just straight warp there. So that I can put that into the proper thing. Vessel links network. That one's lost total communications. Where's the other one? Bet they've both lost all communications. Oh, that one still has it. What about the other sats when you are... I'm watching them too, because there's one that's going out to Joule that way, and there's the other that's coming out to Joule this way. So that one's going to hit Joule first, but I can actually already see that I have no control over that vessel. So it doesn't even matter what happens to that one over on the distance there. I've got no hope in controlling it. Even these ones aren't powerful enough. Ugh. Bad times, friends. Bad times. We're gonna be lucky. No. No, we've lost connection with this other one. This isn't... This is also not enough. Our communications are just not enough to piggyback out like that. You are correct, Rabbit. Rabbit, you are so correct that I think we will have to name the next series of missions in your honor. Oh, hi, Ducky. Hi, Ducky. Thanks for joining. You're just in time to see us fail at staying in communication. Look, this satellite has even lost communication already. I can't... Ooh, I have limited probe control. I wonder what I can do with limited control. Well, there are some things I can do with limited probe control. Yo, I totally forgot to turn SAS off before the time warp. So that's cool that SAS still works. No. And actually, I'll point out that these antennas do not need to be extended. So they are working out for me. Ducky, everybody should just be here for the vibes. The only people that are not just here for vibes have dedicated themselves to be part of the scientific community. And I appreciate everybody who is part of the scientific community. But right now, Rabbit was the one that has insisted that we improve this communication network. And it's throttle up or off, right? Those are my options. All right, at least we have some control. So we're just gonna try and circularize this orbit some. Because the most important thing here is that the satellite doesn't get flung off wildly. So having it parked neatly between the red circle and the brown circle is going to be great. This is something we'll do to help you out, Ducky. You don't need to be totally familiar with Kerbal. You just need to know we're taking this blue circle and we're making it bigger right now. It's just happening really, really slow. And I'm covering up a bunch of relevant numbers because some people around here are afraid of math. And you don't have to worry about it. Just focus on the blue circle is getting bigger right now. I need it to be big enough not to touch the red circle. I have a satellite in polar orbit around Kerbin. I do have one. But that's not even the problem. I'm thinking too. Thanks, No Name, for chiming in on that. I also believe I might have limited probe control of the others, which is actually going to be hugely beneficial. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress to you how much I can do with limited probe control right now. As long as the SAS works. Okay, my blue circle is big enough not to touch the red circle right now. So we're going to stop that. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now this satellite has done everything it can for us. The question is going to be this one over here. This is now the most important question of do I have limited control or no control? And I have limited, which is fantastic. I also left SAS on, which is dangerous. But I have plenty of electricity and I've got plenty of solar panels, so I'm not terribly concerned. But I need a big relay orbit. Yeah, I need you're right. Rabbit, we are going to put something truly massive up for you. Let me take a note here. Let me take a quick note somewhere that I'll see later. Let's see. Rabbit said what was that? 60 million kilometers worth of range. See, I didn't want to do math earlier and I took my guess, so hopefully that note will be enough to remind me next time to dedicate the missions in your honor. But what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We are zooming out because there is no point in trying to send additional ships to support this. We just have to go to Jewel. I have a maneuver set up. Oh yeah, well, let's warp to that maneuver, wherever that is. Are we time warping? Oh, we missed the maneuver node. Okay. Cannot delete maneuver node, controlled locked. Okay, that makes sense to me. Which sucks, actually, because it's just going to be in my way. It's going to distract me from literally everything. And prevent me from time warping. Wow. I messed up big on that one, team. Because I can't warp anywhere. Ugh. All of these ships that we've launched today were in the effort of going to Jewel. But gosh, I have messed up now. Because this is the first one that we sent to Jewel. And we noticed we were going to lose communications with it. I can time warp in the tracking station. That's good to know. I wish I could just delete that maneuver node and ignore it. But that's not going to happen, like, ever. And I am time warping as fast as I possibly can. Ooh. Yes, the comm loss was due to the distance. My antennas are not powerful enough even to piggyback the distance. And because I forgot to delete that maneuver node. Ugh. So much extra hassle. It's fine though, we're going to Jewel. Nothing wrong with a long car ride, right? Does anyone need to stop and use the bathroom? Did you pack snacks? At least the music's really chill. I hope this satellite can come along and push some extra signal. Terrence, I'm understanding now. The probability of success of this mission is increasing. Because you've seen this other satellite coming closer. You're anticipating some goodness. Because my gosh, if it could just send a signal out here. If only. Hoppity hop. It's a comin'. It's kind of cool that Kerbin's going to be on the right side to help us out. But our antenna's still not enough. But yo, this limited control is going to do something for us. Yo, I don't even need a huge signal. I just need a little signal for a brief moment. It might happen. It's close. It's close. No, it lost connection to Kerbin. I'm gonna have to put one of these basically between every planet. Yo, that one's gonna have to do another orbit out before it hits Jewel. At least one more orbit. Yo, is this one gonna have to do another orbit? No. Oh, good, good. I was afraid for a second. We're almost there. Look, we're almost there, right? And this still won't go away? 2 days? All right, look, we are in Jewel's sphere of influence. This is a start. Where is that orbit gonna leave us? Yo, that orbit is gonna leave us near Elu. Amazing. But that maneuver is still gonna... Oh, and I still can't time warp because of it. Hold up. What if I just went retrograde? Alright. So now, should I just crash this into Jewel? No, probably not, right? But we are... Oh yeah, throttle is either full or none. Full it is. Oh. What do we have an encounter with? That's that Tylo escape. That maneuver node is irrelevant. I'm so frustrated by it though. Can I open this door? Yeah? Okay. Buddy bot, it's a bad time. Yo, that is not a lot of science. I expected that to be worth much more. 56 days and I can't time warp from here, huh? What if I go in? Can we find a way to leave this at Jewel? Focus on Jewel so I can zoom in, yes. Alright, what's gonna happen here? Alright, alright. So we're gonna come whipping around Tylo like that. Which side are we going on? Going on the outside, and we're getting whipped out there. And where does that orbit leave us? Going back to Kerbin, where we will have control of the ship again. So it's not going to go to Elu, but it's at least going to let us get back to having control of the ship, where we can also transmit some science back, which will be good. But I can't... 57 days. The Tylo periapsis is 57 days. Can I put an alarm there? Focus on Tylo for a second. It will not let me tell it to put an alarm there, huh? Click alarm, like just right there. Right top, okay. Hit there. Create an alarm. Time to alarm. Okay, I need 57 days. And 5 hours. And... sure. Link it to this vessel. Yeah. Add that alarm. Great. Can I warp to the next? Yo! That worked. Let's hope it worked. We're gonna find out soon. Great, here comes our satellite. Yo, this alarm? Rabbit, you are on fire today. Ducky, I appreciate your support. So the goal is to stop here at Tylo, but with an orbital speed of 5,000 meters per second. That seems like a huge ask. Oh, wait, no, we said we were going to accept not having any adjustments, because it's just going to launch us back to Kerbin. And if we just go back to Kerbin, we can transmit all of our science. Delete and close. Thank you. So, what if I wanted to study this mystery goo right here? And I just kept that 80 science. I wanted like hundreds. Log that temperature display. So now I need the scientific community to share their input. Do we attempt to stop here at Tylo, knowing we might mess up? Or do we accept that the course returns us back to Kerbin, where we can transmit this science? We might eventually be able to transmit the science, but we could just send a bigger ship later anyways. I need to know, do we try and stop? We have, what's that? 1,938 delta V. 1,938. We're going real fast. Desperately. All right. Rabbit is saying only go back if we're desperate, and I am not desperate for it. So we are going to try and stop. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea if it's going to be enough, but I do know that the periapsis is 10 minutes away. 10 minutes away. Let's set an alarm. Create an alarm for 8 minutes. And warp to that alarm. Besides, there is a second satellite that has an encounter with Jewel lined up anyways. So there are options. Delete and close that alarm. Yo, the alarm warping. Definitely a lifesaver here. All right, well, what are we, 2 minutes away? We're gonna go early. Will we? No, I'll wait. I will wait. Go away, node. All right, well, let's slow down here. Well, would you look at that orbit? Ooh. We're trying to stay. That's the goal here, is to stay. Great. That's an orbit where we stay. I feel like we're gonna want to reposition this somehow so that we don't get flung out wildly. Well, you got some great voice acting skills. Oh, thanks, Ducky. I haven't done a lot of that voice acting stuff in a while, but if somebody asked me to do a specific script, I would certainly consider it. But I got tired of looking for scripts, and I am clearly not in a position to be paying somebody to writing them for me. So, so yeah, that's my story on that. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is staying, and that's just that. Now, it's in a day. That's in almost a year. I can't make an alarm for right there right now. That's fine. Oh. Wait, why did that just change? Jewel escape. Tylo escape. What's with the Jewel escape? 160 5 days? What are you going off about? Are you telling me I'm gonna get flung? Yo, I am gonna get flung out again. That's the maneuver. Oh, because the maneuver. The maneuver is not relevant. I think we're just gonna accept this. We're gonna accept this satellite as it is where it is. We will consider repositioning it. We will consider going to take over some of the other satellites that are out there. But I think that the next time we play, we're going to have to focus on putting up a very powerful satellite array. Where do I get bigger satellites? Bigger relay antennas. 15G. If you get signal, you can remove. Yeah. Soon, like I think I need to focus on getting the communications out there, and then I'll worry about getting the Sentinel telescope once I can. That'll be a lot of extra good science. But maybe I'll just load something up with a whole lot of satellites next time and launch it. But the next stream, we will focus on setting up Killer Rabbit's communications array. For now, I'm gonna wrap it up, go stretch my legs, I don't know, maybe eat some garbage. Bye. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.